Justin Greenawalt here with 65drums.com, and today I'm doing a review of the GoEdrum Ke6 drum set. As a disclaimer, before I start this video, they did mail this to me and they're letting me keep it. So let me go over the pads first, and then I'll talk about the module and then play some kit examples for you guys near the end of the video. So what do you get in the box? You get 4 cymbals right here. They're all triple zone. They're all 13 inches. You can actually plug the hi-hat cymbal and use it as a ride or whatever. They're all exactly the same pad. You've got 2 10-inch high toms, 2 12-inch floor toms, a 12-inch snare, and a massive 18-inch kick drum. These are all mesh heads. I believe they're single ply. And on the front of that kick drum is a Mylar drum head as a resonant head with the logo on it. And then you've got a very large metal rack. It actually is pretty nice. You've got ball joints right here. You can position everything very, very easily. And all of these cymbal arms are boom arms. And you get a double braced hi-hat stand and a single kick pedal in the box, although I'm using a Iron Cobra set right here. This drum set just looks incredibly beautiful. You've got this wood grain wrap right here, and this is only one of their color options. A previous drum set they sent me has a red sparkle finish right here. There's so many different options they have there. If you buy a Roland or Yamaha drum set, they have their standard colors that they have. With this, you have a ton of different options right there. And the pads are massive. These are the exact sizes of a Roland TD30kv, which costs over $7,000. You're getting all this for $2,000. Although that Roland set does have larger cymbals for one of the crashes and the ride cymbal. But you're just getting huge sizes for a very low price. But the problem is you're getting this gorgeous drum set at the expense of some of the fundamentals. These pads are not professional quality. These are practice quality. My real issue is with these cymbals right here. They are not the best cymbals in the world at all. I'll have issues where I'll hit the ride bell sound and it will trigger a crash sound because it's mistriggering. Also, the choke strip is on top of the cymbal on the edge right here, which is a really bad idea because you can accidentally set off the choke feature and then the cymbal will become a dead cymbal until you smack it a couple of times and it becomes unchoked. The choke strip on most cymbals in the electronic drum industry are underneath. That's why you need the choke strip underneath so it doesn't accidentally get pressed all the time. So these cymbals are not the most reliable cymbals at all. As far as these pads right here, they're decent. I've had issues where it wouldn't register a hit. That could be because of the module. It could be because of these pads. Sometimes it's hard to tell, although I do think it's the module. You get a 2-piece hi-hat right here, which is nice. Their previous drum set they sent me, it was only a 1-piece. You had the trigger that went on the hi-hat stand right here, and then the top piece. This, however, has a plastic rim around that trigger now. So you have the top cymbal coming in contact with the bottom cymbal. And it's subtly better. I actually like that this is a 2-piece. I do like that. And it's also interesting that you can get a bell sound on the hi-hat cymbal. I really do like this rack. It's pretty nice. The only problem is, and this is actually sort of a good problem, these pads are so huge that you can't really position them that many different ways because they start to bump into each other. And if these poles right here were a little bit longer, I'd have a little bit more freedom in order to move them around. But as it is, they'll bump into each other as you're playing almost. Yeah, I hope their next version of this drum set will have a bit of a longer rack, just a couple of extra inches. Just to make this rack a little bit bigger would really help in order to position these in different ways. So let me talk about the drum module. This drum module is actually the same drum module they're using on every single one of their drum sets. Their $1,000, their $1,400, and their $2,000 drum set. And that presents a problem because in other drum set companies, they'll have tiers. As you spend more, you'll get a better drum module with better sounds, more editing capabilities, whatever it is. This module is underpowered at this price point. This is going up against the Roland TD25 drum module, the Cat Percussion KT4 drum module, Yamaha has a drum module. All of those drum modules at this price point are better than this. This drum module just is extremely limited. I believe there are samples of about like 4 or 5 drum sets in here, and then they'll name it different things because they'll tune it slightly different and present it as a different kit, or maybe they'll use different muffling. But yeah, this drum module, it just doesn't have the subtleties and the sounds are not quite good enough for me. At $2,000, this module is underpowered. For example, you can't EQ anything. except for the play-along songs. You can EQ the play-along songs, but not the actual drums. I do not like that at all. And also there will be issues where you'll get things cutting out when I'm playing with music. I tried it with different chords, so it's not necessarily my chord that I'm using. But yeah, this module just isn't quite as good as it should be. Also these buttons, this whole module is not quite what I wanted it to be. The interesting thing is, to the audience perspective, this drum set sounds decent actually. As you'll see in these videos, you'll think to yourself, wow, this is a decent sounding module. The problem is, when you're actually playing it, the subtleties aren't there. For example, when you do something extremely simple, like a bunch of singles. When you're doing a bunch of single strokes like this, you don't hear tons of little tiny pitch changes between each hit, which makes it sound natural. It's more of a machine gun sound. It's just the sound subtleties as you're playing aren't quite as good. There are a couple of things I do like about this module though. They let you know what drum you're playing as you're selecting to build your own user kit. So I can use a Tama snare or a DW snare or maybe a sonar snare. They let you know what snares or what kick drums or whatever you're using, which is great because in my mind, I want to know that I'm playing a real snare sound. That adds to the realism for me, and I wish everyone did that. Also, there's an interesting function where you can adjust what sound is going to come out of the pad every hit. So if I'm doing 3 different hits right here, 1, 2, 3, the first hit will be like a tom sound. I can make the second sound a shaker sound, or the next sound I could make it as a ride sound, or I can have 2 tom hits and then 1 different sound. Or I can have all 3 hits just be a tom sound. There's flexibility there. I like that. It's an interesting feature. I know some other module somewhere has done it before, but it's interesting not everyone does this. There's a Bluetooth button right there. Don't get excited about that. I thought maybe I could connect Bluetooth headphones, but no, it's for a training app they've developed. It's for Android only, and no one in my house has an Android device. I couldn't test that feature, but just wanted to let you guys know that it's there. You do get a cable snake with this drum set. I actually don't like cable snakes. I like having individual inputs, but you know, with a drum set this big, sometimes a cable snake is not a bad idea. The only thing is, this snake right here doesn't have enough cords for all the pads. They'll give you 2 extra 1/4-inch cords to plug into cymbal 3 and tom 4. And so that uses up, I believe, most of your available extra inputs. I think you have 1 extra input you can plug in an extra cymbal or an extra snare or whatever it is you want to do. So here are some of the kit examples. I do like how it sounds a little bit dirty. It doesn't sound overly produced and everything. The problem is the subtleties of your playing just aren't quite there. It's a little too machine gunny, and just the layers of sound there, they need to work on it a little bit, and they need to add the EQ function. I'm really missing that. When I'm playing it through my PA speakers right here and running the drum set into a soundboard, just the fact that I can bring up the lows and adjust the highs, That makes the drum set actually sound better than what you heard in this video. And just so you guys know, I recorded a drum cover with this drum set, Stars by Switchfoot. If you want to see that video, head to my Facebook page, 65 Drums, 2 words. It's only going to be on that Facebook page. It's not going to be on YouTube. And so be sure to go check that out. Sometimes just hearing someone play a drum set without music behind it, you know, you don't quite get the vibe of how it would fit in with other instruments. And so that's why I made this drum cover. So to wrap up this review, this is for a very specific group of people. This is for the person that wants to put this drum set in their house. This is not professional quality, this is for your house. This is for the guy that wants to put this in his house and he wants a huge drum set that will impress the people that come over to visit, that looks extremely beautiful with tons of different color options and really huge sizes. And if you're that person, maybe this drum set's for you. I value sound and reliability of pads more than how it looks. So this is not the perfect drum set for me. But there are people out there that this drum set may work for them. There are just issues that would not make it for me. I hope that helped. I will see you guys in the next video. I have a new video every single Sunday, so be sure to subscribe. It's all about electronic drums. And remember, if you want to see that drum cover I did of the Switchfoot song, go check out my Facebook 65 Drums.